Hey guys, recently a lot of people asked me to present my Hatchet and Spear build, so this is my first English video. I hope you will enjoy it, and I explain everything you have to know. I'll talk about the skills, the gear, the attributes, and everything you have to know. Let's go! So first of all, I present you my gear. So first, I really advise you to go for a full resilience on every pieces. I think you don't have to know this. I mean, everybody is talking about resilience. So full resilience is really the way to go for every single pieces. I really advise also to go for evasion, the regeneration evasion. Now we will talk about the weapon enhancement, the things that upgrade your skills, your weapon skills. So first of all, I really advise you to go for the crit chance from the jump that stuns peoples. I don't always play with these skills, but you can play with it and you can use this passive right here. It's in French, I know. I'm playing in French, but it's okay. Use the perforating things that increase your armor when you are hitting people, the things that increase these skills. Yeah. Right. I also advise you to use the weakens from the skewer, you know, the things that reduce damage by 40% for 8 seconds. So I really advise you to use this in combo with resilience and the reduction cooldown on dodge, etc, etc. So now to talk about the jewels, I really advise you to use always the health passive that increase your max health. I mean, everybody again is talking about this, so use it. You can use the reduction damage you take from the damage from rapier, spear, bow and musket. You can use both. You can use this or the reduction from the purification. Yes, you can use purification. You can also use this one, but I really like the 5% reduction against people that deal damage from spears, because mainly actually everybody is playing with rapier, spear, bow, musket, so I think this is really better than the increase stamina or the purification. But if you have the choice and if you have a legendary necklace, you can go with 3 of them, and I say health, reduction damage from spear, etc, and purification or the increased stamina when you are under 50%. I think I'd prefer the regen stamina. So you can go for the regen stamina, reduction from spear damage, and the max health, yes. For the ring, you can go for the increased crit chance, and for the vigor, the things that increase your max stamina, or you can also go for the ponction. I don't know if this is the name in English, the things that gives you health back, the life stealing thing. This is a really good one. If you have a ring, a legendary ring, you can go for the stamina one, the crit chance one, and you can also go for the life steal one. Okay, now for the necklace, you can go for the health regen or for the stamina regen. If I had the possibility to go for a stamina regen, I go for it. I think nimble, if this is a name for the English passive, I go for it. And the best one for necklace, obviously, if everybody again is talking about this, I go for the potion cooldown reduction. This is way too good to not take it. And finally, I'd go for the cooldown reduction passives from the wall dodge, or I'd use the purification passive that remove one debuff when you're drinking a regen potion. So as you wish. Now we'll talk about the weapons. So now for the hatchet, you can go for the crit chance, the elementary damage you deal every 2 seconds. I don't know what's the name in English. Tell me in commentary down below what's the name in English of this elementary thing. You can also go for vicious instead of the elementary thing. And finally, I advise you to go for the increased mobility for 30% when you deal crit damage, or the things than the empowered, the keen empowered that increase by 15% your damage. And you can also go for the things that deal dots, the damage over times on your hits when you crit. It deals something like 7% of your weapon damage. as you wish, but for me, the best in slot will be crit chance increase, vicious with empowered or the dots damage. And for the spear, I'd go for vicious, the elementary things, plus the dots damage on crit attacks. You can also go for the keenly empowered that increase your damage by 15% for 5 seconds. This is also good, but I prefer the dots damage that will increase your crit chance on your spear with this passive here. It increases by 15% when someone is bleeding, so this is really OP. Actually, I'm trying the Kutsuu build. I think you know who is Kutsuu, is the guy that's playing rapier plus spear. So I'm trying this build actually, and so I advise you to go for the stun, but this build is really variable for Hatchet build. The problem with this build actually with an Hatchet is that the Hatchet is also a DPS weapon. That's not a good support. The synergy between the spear and the hatchet isn't that great. So I'd prefer go for support skills like javelin with the reduction armor or the stun from the jump instead of this offensive build. Really. And I really like the skewer. The skewer is just one of the best kills from spear. People sometimes neglect this skill, but this is mobility dots, maybe the best dots in the game. This is 15-second dots on this one. You can increase your damage by 20% for 10 seconds. This is simply one of the best skills. I like it. When I'm not playing with skewer on my spear, I feel like I don't have my two hands, guys. I already explained everything you have to know in my previous video about the hatchet, but I can explain you. You can go with the Raging Torrent that is dealing a lot of damage in AoE, but most of the time I'm stuck in animation, and sometimes people just cancel me the attacks. I have to cancel it because the guy is running away. Most of the time I'm killing squishy people, and squishy people have a lot of escape, so most of the time I'm gonna put like 2 hits instead of 4 or 5 if you have the last passive. So most of the time I really dislike it, and the good thing about the rending throw is that you can do light attack skill, light attack skill. This is really good. You can do tac skill, and you have one of the best DPS on Hatchet. Doing light attack skill, light attack is one of the best DPS, because actually the best DPS on New World with the Hatchet is light attack, roll dodge, light attack, roll dodge. If you do light attack, Hatchet, light attack. The problem with the third Hatchet hit and the fourth one is that they are really slow. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is really slow. So you really have to always hit 1 and 2, then roll dodge, or just stop or use a skill and 1, 2 again, because they are really quick. Like this. So back to Hatchet, you really have to use the Feral Rush with the immobilization, the root, sorry. I think this is the best things you have on the Hatchet, mainly against noobs. Against noobs, this is a really great skill. Against good player, you will never root them. I mean, the only guys that you will root is you will surprise them to go in their back with your Feral Rush, but good player will always turn around in your face to not get root from the Feral Rush, because actually the Feral Rush is really slow. You can't immobilize people that easy when they know what you're doing and what you're about to do. So I think this is really a good skill, but always think twice before using your Feral Rush. I think I'd prefer not use it when I'm against a good player, except when the guy is out of stamina, because actually this is so easy to dodge. I mean, look at the animation. I mean, it takes almost 1 or 2 seconds before to hit people. If you have a reactive brain, this is so easy to dodge. So I really advise you to always think twice or 3 times before using your Feral Rush. For me, this build is the fucking best build for PvP. This exploit passive is 15% increased damage when someone has the rending throw active on them from the debuff. This is just too good, guys. I'm dealing a lot of fucking damage. When someone is under the effect of the rendering, I'm dealing a lot of damage. The only things that really counter this build is people that are moving really fast, or the people that are blocking. When you block the rendering throw, player doesn't take the rendering. All you have to play is really strategically against people that are blocking. Never throw a rendering axe on someone that is blocking. This is just useless. You will remove maybe one of, yeah, a little bit of his stamina block, so don't use it. Just wait the right time to use it on someone that is blocking. I also tried the poison throw, but I think this is just really bad. The animation time is just too long. You look like you're a frog, man. This is just horrible. So don't use it. This is really bad. You would like to use it, will be in situation like in war or in group. Like if you are with 10 people, you're using maybe something like a full debuff build, but otherwise I will not use it. This is just bad. And finally, I didn't talk about it, but for the gems, I really advise you to go for the Onyx, or you can also go for the Moonstone is really good, because it actually reduces the damage from the axe and the double axe, etc. Actually, if you have a meta in your server that isn't using that much of aimer, using Onyx will be a loss. Why? Because actually Onyx gives 2.5% resistance against spear damage, the hatchet damage, and the aimer damage. If not a lot of people are using aimer, as you can see, it's 12.5% resistance against only the aimer. So you you would really go for pure resistance against the spear and the hatchet resistance instead of Onyx, because it actually gives you 2.5% for nothing. And most of the time with this build, when someone is using a aimer, you're like, okay, stun, esquive, dodge, dodge. I mean, aimer player are just easy to dodge and easy to control. If you're really confident in your skills against an aimer player, against a slow player, you can go for the resistance against hatchet damage and against spear damage, but if you're not that confident in your reactivity, in your fast-paced brain, I don't know how to talk about this, but I think I advise you to go for full Onyx, yeah. So now I really use always one opal, because you need elemental damage. Actually, there is a meta of Ice Gauntlet and Void Gauntlet, and I really advise you to go for Opal. And I really advise you again to maybe use 2 Opal if you're not that confident against Magician player, because they actually deal a lot of fucking damage, guys. Finally, you can see my attributes. If you really want to go for the full DPS build on a Hatchet Spear, you can go for the 300 strength, 150 dexterity plus 50 constitution, but otherwise this is just the best build. If you don't want to go full damage, this is just a really good build. You have everything you need. Actually, this passive is good for the skewer, because you can have a crit on the skewer instantly when you use a roll dodge. So see, roll dodge skewer. So like this, you will unleash the passive, this one, that increase your damage for 20% when you do a crit damage. As you wish. You can play with the 300 and only put 50 in strength, but you're actually using Hatchet. So I don't know if you really want to go for the 50 strength. You're playing Hatchet, so... Now we'll finish for the consumable. I don't know even when you pronounce it in English, the consumable. Consumable, yeah, consumable maybe. So you can use this one. I mean, in OPR, in OPR, I always use this or the Zephyr. I don't know if you can call this Zephyr in OPR, the ones that increase by 10% your move speed. This is just way too good. If you can go for a medium armor build, and I'd really advise you to go for the Zephyr food if you are in medium armor. Both are really viable. I'd go for the light armor because I really like the mobility, but if you're really confident in your skills, in your reactivity, etc., I really advise you to go for the medium armor for this build. Both are really good. These two food, you have to use this potion, you have to use this regeneration potion, even more if you are using the purification passive from the earrings that remove one debuff when you're drinking the regen potion. And finally, you can use the things that reduce the damage, the physical damage, and you can also use this one. But I really advise you to go for this one, because actually 60-70% of players are actually playing physical damage, so go for it. The big damage are mostly coming from the Ice Gauntlet with the spike, but otherwise magical damage aren't that a big problem, except from their stuns, their control, their roots, etc. But about damage, stamina damage, dexterity damage and strength damage are more a problem than magical damage. So yeah, as you wish. And finally, I'm using this food, or you can also use the food from the carrots food. I don't know how you call it in English. This one, yeah, the cake, the carrots cake food. This is just a really good cake. It depends on your attributes on your armor. All you want is the attribute I explained just before, and just adapt your food for your attributes. I hope you liked this video. Put a like to support me. Thanks for the guys that will take time to put a like. You can subscribe. I post video every 2 days on this channel. I have also a main channel that is French channel, so if you're French, then let's go, this is really good. But if you're not French, then you not find what you're looking for on my second channel. So guys, if you want, you can click on the next video just right here. This is a good value video, you can go to on it. And finally, take care and bye.